how to teach grammar with stories, how to practice grammar so that your child or your students don't even notice they practice grammar. I'm Irina Skibenko, a teacher, an author and a traveler, and I create adventure stories with engaging activities for children to learn English. And today I will give you example how to teach and practice grammar when you read a book with your child or with your students. So there are two main ways of learning grammar. The first way, which was at the beginning of the teaching methodology, is that we learn a rule, we read a rule in a textbook, we learn it, we learn when to use it and the form of this of a noun or a verb, and then we do a few exercises or many exercises to practice these forms, to remember them better. But this way doesn't guarantee that a child can use these rules in speaking, especially in spontaneous speaking. Then there appeared another way with the development of course books. We started to have more colorful and course books with authentic materials and texts, so that these grammar rules were coming from the context of a story or a text, and then we would first see it, how it is used in the text, and again read the rule and practice the form. Again, if you do this, that's great to memorize and to learn it, but it doesn't guarantee that a child or an adult can use these rules in speaking. And when you read a story with your child or even at the lesson with adults, you can use this method that I will talk about to practice speaking and grammar at the same time. So let's take one of my stories. This is my second story, Nina and Eve at Schönbrunn Palace, and let's see how we can do it. So the grammar form that we are going to practice is, you can find it in the text. Or you can also practice grammar with an illustration. Let's look at the way of learning grammar, practicing grammar with illustrations. So when we describe pictures, we usually use present continuous or present perfect, or simply the verb to be for a beginner student. So you can look at the picture, you can show it to your child, student, and ask, for example, is it a girl? So at first we ask general questions that we can answer only with positive or negative answers. Is it a girl? Is her blouse red? Are her eyes brown? Is she in the park? And a child can practice only short answers. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Then the next step is to ask questions with or. Yeah, like, is it a boy or a girl? Is she wearing a red shirt or a blue shirt? Is she looking at the park or she's looking through the gate? So these questions will make your student say the whole sentence, repeating your question they don't need to find this answer, they just need to choose the correct alternative from your answer. And this way they're practicing the verb to be in the present tense. You can also practice present perfect with illustrations if your student already knows it, like is familiar with these forms. Has Nina come to the park? Has Nina climbed the fence in the park yet or no? So this is the way how you practice certain forms with illustrations. And then you can ask specific questions. Yeah, what is she doing? What is she wearing? What is happening in the picture? This is how you work with illustrations. And apart from present perfect, present continuous, you can also practice can, there is, there are, what is there in the picture, and just describe it in all details. And if they are more fluent, then you can even fantasize, like what would she do if she weren't inside the locked park. This is how we work with illustrations and can practice specific forms without even naming these rules, without telling your child, let's practice grammar, let's learn grammar. And now I will read you a short passage from the story and show you the same method, how you can work with the text. So my stories are written in the past tense, and I use mainly past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. So we can practice these tenses. Let's begin. Nina was looking at the high gate of the Schönbrunn Palace Park. Her gaze was still, as she estimated if she could climb it or not. She saw two men climb over it and escape. Eve was going in and out of the gate. So this is the first paragraph. And what can we practice here? As I've said, at first we practice general questions. Was Nina looking at the high gate? Was her gaze still? Did she estimate if she could climb it or no? And here we encourage our students to answer, to give a short answer, and also we practice a specific answer. We can ask a few questions only for past simple, yeah, with did or with was. Then the second stage is that we ask questions with or. Did she see two men or three men? Yeah, here a child can just choose the correct alternative and say the whole sentence. Was Eve going in and out of the gate or of the Schönbrunn Palace? And the next third stage to ask specific questions, special questions. Where was Nina looking? Where was Eve going? So this way, gradually, we practice grammar, and a child comes to the point where they say the whole sentences without even realizing that they are practicing grammar forms. So let me know if this was useful for you, and subscribe to my channel. Put a like if you liked my video today, and see you in the next videos.